Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, good morning. I apparently need to adjust my light. I did not check that. There we go. There we go. Now you can see me a little bit better. Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge and financial freedom. Today, I've got a bunch of headlines, actually. Saw quite a bit going on the weekend. I wanted to talk about it Monday, but I had to sleep in a little bit. There was some storms, and my girl's son kept us up. So I'm going to catch up on the news today. I do have a little bit I was looking at trade-wise. I repositioned some TradFi assets on Friday. So I was going to show y'all what I did. I am looking just a smidgen up for now. So if we do have any alt requests or TA requests you'd like to see after I get through with those, you guys can drop your requests in the chat. But let's get over to that stock heat map because we are seeing a little bit going on this morning. It's a bit of a sell-off. You know, you've got Apple, which is sitting down 1% from its close yesterday, sitting down 0.38 this morning. We've got Nvidia up 0.13, sitting down 0.35 this morning. Got Berkshire Hathaway sitting down 0.37 and sitting down 0.27 this morning. I do have some news on Berkshire Hathaway as well, so that'll tie into that one. We've got Amazon sitting up 0.28, but it is looking down in the pre-market so far, sitting down 0.49. We've got Eli Lilly down 0.3 from its close, but up 0.2 this morning. Got ExxonMobil down 1.59, sitting up this morning just a little bit, 1.14. We've got Tesla down 2.27 from its close yesterday. Looking to the upside this morning, up 0.61. We've got P&G up 0.91 off of its close, and in the pre-market continuing to see that buying pressure coming on in, up 0.35. We've got Microsoft also sitting quite green from its close, up 1.01, sitting down 0.46 this morning. We've got Google sitting in the neutral range, up 0.26 and up 0.24 this morning. We've got Meta to wrap it on out, very, very neutral off of its close, up 0.01% and sitting down just a little bit in the pre-market, down 0.47. I saw you requested some ADA, Jesse. I will get that on the list. We can definitely take a look at that. Might do a little bit longer of a show. I'll hop over to the morning motivational video and then just come on back and continue with some TA. We will kind of have to see how things are going near the end. We are looking quite green in the top 25 right now, seeing a lot of green on the daily with Bitcoin up 2.1%. We've got Ethereum up 5%, XRP up 1.6%. We've got BNB up 1.1%. Solana up 3.4%, Dogecoin up 1.8%, we've got Cardano up 1.4%, we've got Troncoin up 3.7%, SWI up 4.9%, we've got Chainlink up 4.2%, Avalanche up 2.8%, we've got Hyperliquid taking some spots in that market cap and also sitting up 2.1%. We've got Stellar Lumens losing that position to Hyperliquid, up 1.1%. Shiba Inu up 2.4%. We've got HBAR taking a spot from Leo token, sitting up 3.5%, while Leo token is back to remaining quite stable, up 0.08%. we've got Bitcoin Cash up 1.7%, and TON way back down in that number 20 spot, sitting up 1.8%. For those fear and greeds today, we are looking quite greedy on the stock side of things. We've got it sitting at 70 and greed. Not too unexpected, as we got a nice little move up over at the end of last week and into the beginning of this week. We do have the crypto side of things sitting down 3 points, still sitting in greed though. Really understandable after we got that nice strong push towards the upside. Looking to at least maintain our sideways range, which we will look at here in a second. We do have a little bit of liquidity to the top side on this 24-hour chart. Looking at that almost $7,000 mark, it's just a little bit shy, but that range is a little bit broad here, sitting all the way up to about 107,500. There's quite a bit of liquidity to the top side there. The real hot spot is at 107 though. We do have a little bit of liquidity to the bottom side as well, sitting at about 104,500 and ranging all the way down to about 104,000. Let's zoom it on out. Take a look at that 3-day. 3-day got some nice clearing to the bottom side after we got that little bit of a cool off, but we are looking at a lot of top side liquidity sitting in that same range we just talked about on the 24-hour. Zooming on out, take a look at that 2-week. We do have it looking quite bare except for the extremes. We've got some liquidity sitting down at 98,000, and we've got that liquidity directly to the top side. So looking to see if we can maintain some sideways range here, really cool off some of those high term time oscillators, and then see if we can get some continuation to the upside. So let's hop over to the Bitcoin chart and say good morning to everyone in the chat, because y'all were in here early. We got Jesse Gluck in here. We've got Crypto Billy showing up saying the show wasn't popping up for me. I thought you changed the time again. I did not. I was super late to set up the show. I had to take a shower this morning. I've been running on very little sleep, so I just schedule's a little bit wonky. No work, so it kind of throws me off. I see Crypto Coin Mindset in the chat. Good morning to you, sir. You are rarely here this early, so it is quite nice to see you here. Let me get your link to your YouTube, and I will share that in the chat for everyone. If you are not subscribed, you should most definitely subscribe to Crypto Coin Mindset. He does some great work over there. He's got a beginner series that he's been doing, so some good information in that. We've got Jay Violet in here. We've got maybe a Band-Aid in here as well. Good morning to you, sir. Scroll it on down. We got Dylan VA in here. Good morning. Says, hi all. Have a good day. I most definitely will try. And we got K Diggity in here as well. Coffee more important than chatting. I am coffeeless this morning. I started getting some powdered energy drink from the store because it's like $10 cheaper than some coffee, and I've been going off that. We got Trade Intuition in here. He must not have gotten any sleep. Oh, good morning to you, sir. Hope you get some sleep today. Let's zoom this Bitcoin chart out. Take a look at this daily term time frame, because we are seeing a little bit of some worrisome here. We do have our money flow, which looks like it's starting to roll over. Let's zoom this on in just a little bit. There we go. We've got that MACD crossing the indicator line, as well as our prime oscillator getting that roll over while money flow is also rolling over, but volume is holding steady. So that does mean that you might be seeing a little bit of some selling pressure step in here. We do have quite a bit of some support back down here at about 102,500. That is a price point I've talked about for about the past 2 weeks now. So I'm going to continue to beat up that price point. It is something I'm looking at holding, maintaining some sideways movement here like we did back over here. We might get that nice clean pop to the upside if we can see some strong liquidity coming in on a shorter term time frame. I always talk about that bleeding on over. That's what we're going to be watching all over again as we get a little bit of some sell off here. We do have a bearish divergence, which is sitting off of this peak over here, looking to potentially play out just a little bit so we can cool those oscillators off as we see that MACD breaking that indicator line as well, getting that little bit of a push off of it as we do see our second red daily candle starting to print today. Let's zoom this on in, take a look at that 4-hour money flow also getting that roll over. This is where we're going to want to watch to see if we can get that 15-minute to 1 hour money flow to really bleed in to our 4-hour and see if we can hold that daily money flow quite steady, because it is at that point where it could kind of just continue to move sideways, and we see Bitcoin continue to move sideways here. Let me clean that up just a little bit. That was something I was looking at. We did confirm this bottom one as a trend line. So let me get that one actually drawn out there and lock it so we're not moving it around. We got some nice support coming underneath us as well. So a nice little area to come back to, cool off some of these oscillators here as that prime oscillator switch from green to red here, getting that roll over as volume is starting to increase. So we'll kind of have to see if that volume increasing ends up being some selling volume here as we watch the shorter term time frame money flow. We do have that 1 hour also looking like you might see that a little bit of a push up if you can see that continuation of some money flow. We did get a second lower high here with a divergence stacked up on top of that. Looks like you might see that a nice little push towards the upside before you see that nice strong move to the downside. Try to cool off that oscillator. Your MACD is getting some sideways momentum here under the indicator line, so looking to see if we can have that money flow really bleed over as that volume on the 1 hour has started to slow up just a little bit. Looks like we're seeing just a little bit of some exhaustion at the top side of our sideways range here. We do have a bit of liquidity sitting up here, so it'd be a very, very easy grab for the morning before we really see that stronger move towards the downside. We do have that 15-minute money flow still looking quite nice though. Looking pretty green as we're trying to maintain some of this sideways range up at the top side. Got that prime oscillator with that reversal signal, getting some sideways movement here though. Not really what you want to see if you're going to try to grab that top side liquidity. You could have some quick money flow coming in here this morning. I was looking for a little bit of some more cool off here on the 15-minute before we get that strong push back up towards about $106,000 where all that liquidity is sitting. Looking like we've made a few lower highs here. Probably going to make about one more lower high and lower low before we see a secondary reversal signal start to flash, and watch for that positive money flow to really pop us back up to grab that top side liquidity. All right. I see Mark Dutchin here. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day. Let's see. Tuesday, X-Space tonight. Infinite Crypto gonna drop some alpha. He tells me, plus a Bitcoin conference update. I don't know if I'll be able to be there. I will watch it on the replay, though. That's what I normally do. I'm in bed at 8. But if I don't have work tomorrow again, because we're getting some rain today, then I will definitely be there live. Someone go ahead and drop that link to tonight's Billy Goat Tales in the chat for me. All right, I did have some news that I wanted to go over this morning. Quite a bit of news, actually. We got Mastercard and MoonPay teaming up for stablecoin payments. I'm not going to dive too far into this, but Mastercard and MoonPay have teamed up to have you pay at stores with stable coins. So a nice little another stablecoin move that we're seeing as we're trying to get some legislation put in the United States. We do have Trump tariffs set to go back into place in about 2 to 3 weeks. Walking back some of those negotiations, let's scroll on down to the catch up quick. Trump, during a business roundtable at the tail end of his Middle East trip, said to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick would act on tariff rates soon. At a certain point over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think Scott and Howard will be sending letters out essentially telling people what they'll be paying to do business in the United States, Trump said. I guess you could say they could appeal it, but for the most part, I think we're going to be very fair, but it's not possible to meet the number of people that want to see us. Basically, what he's saying here is we bit off more than we could chew. We wanted to make some trade deals, and everyone's kind of wanting to make some trade deals with the United States, but we're not able to get to everyone. So I do think we continue to see trade deals made. I think he really underestimated how long it takes to hammer out a trade deal. It is not a quick face-to-face meeting. You've got a lot you have to do on the back end. You know, they talked quite a while with China, and they still haven't completely hammered out that trade deal. And I don't think you see that trade deal fully go into effect for quite a while. And that's what you're going to see with a bunch of these countries. There are countries that are trying to hop on that. You've got places like Vietnam and South Korea. I know those were two big ones. I believe Brazil was on that list as well. They want to keep importing some cheap beef to the United States. All of these countries are trying to hammer out trade deals, and they don't have enough people in that administration to really meet with everyone at the same time and get favorable deals really worked out. So we'll kind of have to watch as these new rates go into effect. They set to be announced in 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll kind of have to see what kind of motivation he's going to try to give people to move their practices to the United States. I had another one on Warren Buffett because I talk about it every single morning. We go over that Berkshire Hathaway. Looks like he's dumping another bank. Not anything different than what he's been doing. He's been selling quite a bit, but this one, instead, he decided to do a little buying as well. Warren Buffett shifts finance to fun as he dumps Citigroup and buys up more shares in alcohol maker Constellation. This is a Mexican beer company. They make quite a few brands here, and it looks like they're also making some THC beer. So, a little bit of a switch in the Berkshire Hathaway method as opposed to some security. You know what normally goes up in recession? People still buy beer. You know, you gotta drown those sorrows away. So I took a little bit of a look at it. I have not invested just yet, but it's something I will keep my eye on. And then let me get over to this last news article. I dropped it in the Discord yesterday for everyone. But Capital One yesterday bought Discover. And looking like they're going to be merging their companies into one company. As you see the debt rates for your average American going through the roof. This is a nice repositioning for these two companies. I think they do quite well together. I'll be keeping my eye on Capital One stock as well. We'll kind of have to see if we find a little bit of a sell-off point after this merger, and then I'll probably be buying some Capital One. So just something I was looking at for the weekend. Beers? Who drinks beers? Says Cryptocoin Mindset. That's funny coming from you, sir. Oh, that's extra funny. You have a whole show about that. Let's see. Even if you can't make it, please click the button. Tell me it helps the algorithm, I guess. I'm just learning all the stuff. I will definitely click that button. Thanks for sharing that link in the chat there, Jesse. Let's see. We got anything else? Nope, I'm not seeing anything else there. So let's hop over to some of what I was looking at. On Friday, I did some repositioning on the stock side of things. I teased to everyone that I had bought some SMR back in March. I was buying the lows here, bought some more in April, and then we got a strong move towards the upside. Well, I ended up selling off back here. I thought we'd see a rejection at the 236 here. I'm not extremely greedy, so that was a nice 24% move, and on TradFi, that's nothing to sneeze at. So I did do a little bit of some repositioning. I talked about Serve in the Discord. I teased that last Friday. For anyone that's not in the Discord, should definitely be checking that out. We do a lot there. Talk about quite a bit as well. We do have a bit of some resistance here to the top side on Serve. I was potentially looking at getting on up to, but we do have a massive CME gap towards the top side. Let me get it drawn out. I don't know why sometimes when I draw stuff on my tablet, it doesn't show up on my PC. So let's get this drawn out there. Massive CME gap towards the top side that I'm potentially looking at getting to at least the bottom side of before I take some profits. This is more of a swing trade that I was taking a look at. We did see that weekly chart is where I entered off of. Let me get that pulled up to the weekly there. You're seeing that nice curve back up here on your prime oscillator. Money flow really coming in strong here as you're looking at your MACD to cross your indicator line as well. So more of a swing trade opportunity. Looking to at least take some profits here at the 50% line on my fibs. That's coming in at about $14.56. This is a robotics company who's paired with Uber Eats. They've got a few other partnerships in the works. They're doing full automation for deliveries. So definitely something I'm going to be keeping my eye on. More of a long-term kind of hold, but I will reposition myself quite a bit. When we hit key levels, I do think we see this being a bit of a resistance area. That CME gap has the midline coming in right about the golden pocket. So if we do see that strong push in towards the CME gap, look at that golden pocket being a little bit of a rejection zone. Seeing some top end signals, but I'm not too worried as it is more of a long-term play. I'll be laddering back in here. Daily looking a little bit toppy on the prime oscillator, but your money flow just about to get to the green point. So volume also increasing quite heavily as your money flow starting to make that way back towards the green. Might see a little bit of some downside movements with some nice re-entry points. We do have about $8 being a nice point to potentially do some buying at. We might see that nice higher low made, still with that higher high being held intact. All right, and I did buy one other company on Friday. Did not tease that one in the Discord, but I've watched Novo Nordisk for quite a while. Was seeing some sell-off, just like a lot of these other healthcare companies. I was watching for some bottoming action. Didn't get all the way down to $54, but I ended up buying in on Friday as I watched us try to maintain this golden pocket here. So looking for this to be more of a longer term play as well, swinging on back up towards our giant CME gap, which is sitting towards the top side here as well. Again, I don't know why my tablet drawings don't move it on over to my computer drawings, but looking to get back up towards the top side of this CME gap where we've got this 382 running straight across. This is about $97.29. So a bit of a swing play here. Hoping to ladder on in just a little bit as you do still see some red money flow here on the daily, but you're getting those oscillators getting with that curvature back towards the upside. So might see a little bit of some sideways movement here, some opportunities to really ladder on in around the golden pocket. Definitely looking for a few other assets to kind of continue that TradFi aspects on, because as we see a little bit of some stability put into the market. I have been eyeing HIMS, so might be buying that one as well. I will let y'all know in the Discord when I do. All right, we had ADA requested, so let's hop it on over to ADA. Any other assets you guys would like me to take a look at, go ahead and drop them in the chat there. What are y'all talking about here in the chat? As I get ADA pulled up, let me see what's going on. I personally feel the button is in for stocks this year. It's going to get frothy, but 2026 will be scary. Energy stock heavy with all these power plants being built. Yep. So SMR is an energy stock. It's a nuclear energy stock. I just sold the pop, looking to reposition back down at the bottom. I have long-term outlooks on healthcare. I think those are more of a safe bet because people still need their medicine. So that's what NVO does. They are a pharmaceutical company. HIMS does medicine as well for extremely cheap. Also looking at United Healthcare, the same way that Piper was. I thought it had a little more bottom action, so I'm waiting to see if it really clears out some of those levels I wanted to. But healthcare is never a bad play in recessionary times because people still need healthcare. People will still go to the emergency room. They will still use that insurance if they need to use that insurance. They will still get their medicine if they need to get their medicine. So that was just kind of my thoughts. I see Turbo. I can definitely take a look at that one. I was actually taking a look at that the other day. I didn't do any charting on it. Let's see. Any other requests? Bro, is that Prime MACD? No, this is the prime oscillator, and then this is just your basic MACD there. So let's scroll it on up, see if we had any other assets. Nope, I'm not seeing any other assets requested. I see ADA and Turbo, so I can definitely take a look at both of those. Make your wealth from your investments and businesses, then share the how-to with your community on YouTube. Make them rich too, so you have fishing buddies on Tuesday. That's something I was looking at doing next weekend. So I bought United Healthcare last week at the bottom. Piper and I were thinking alike on that one. We watch too much CNBC. Yeah, I don't watch CNBC, but I'm chronically watching the news. So I was watching United Healthcare back when all of that unaliving happened, and then their CEO nonsense, and then the real switching around of power at the top. Watch them get hit with all of their less than ethical business practices. I was like, oh, so at the end of this, we might see some good buying opportunities. I thought it would just go a little bit lower than it did. So I think I still have some time to buy though. So I was making some other moves. I was waiting on some assets to pop so I could really reallocate some funds. All right, we did see ADA get some nice rejections off of our 50% Fibonacci. Let's zoom this on out. Take a look at that higher term time frame here, as we are looking at a little bit of some selling pressure with your MACD sitting below your indicator line here. Prime oscillator looking quite red with some sideways momentum, which is kind of what you want to see when you're looking for some upside movements. I do think we come back down towards the golden pocket to find some strong support here. We do have our True 7 very close to clipping on the daily, as our volume is maintaining quite nicely, and we're just waiting on money flow all over again. Redmond likes his small caps. I have a few small caps as well. I've got a few small cap gold mining stock companies. So definitely something I was taking a look at. The lawsuit low was a good place, I'd say. That was some aggressive selling pressure. Yep. I just thought it might go a little bit lower. I had some lower levels marked out, and it could still end up going there. You could still see some news on United Health Services that really forces a little more sell off, but definitely looking at some acquisition on that. Let's zoom this on in. Take a look at that hourly time frame and what the day might be bringing our way here, as you do see your MACD with some downward momentum here, but your prime oscillator sitting quite close to the bottom. Your volume has slowed up quite a bit. True 7 looking like it's a very, very close to seeing that clipping, as you one little more leg down would really see that clip. So really looking to see if we can get back down to at least the golden pocket here, and see that strong pushback up towards about 76 cents. This is a nice sideways zone for ADA to really see. We do see the top side of the bottom side of this golden pocket was a lot of a resistance area. We're coming back down to these levels. Looks like we're trying to turn this into some support here. We do have that hourly looking like it's close to seeing some reversal signals start flashing. We'll kind of have to watch our 15-minute money flow here, as our MACD is getting that curvature back up, but your prime oscillator getting that curvature back down here. So we'll have to watch the money flow to really see if all of these divergences that we stacked up here come in with some strength and really push us back down towards this golden pocket at about 70 cents before we get that stronger move back up towards the top side of our range and 76 cents all over again. All right, we had Turbo requested KTA. Y'all are some degens. We can definitely take a look at VVV and some KTA as well. I don't have Turbo on my list, so Turbo not on the Blowfin exchange. We will go off of what has the best. All right, Turbo off of Coinbase probably has some of the best information we could go off of here. Let's just zoom it on out. Take a look at the daily so we can get some fib levels pulled. Turbo looks a little bit beat down there. Let's see if something else has a little more history, because I feel like there was a pump before the dump. Yep, there we go. That's a little bit better there. Let's go off of OKX and we'll find our fib levels here. We got from the highs to the low, saw a nice 382 rejection, but that 236 is looking like some strong support here. So definitely looking to see if we can at least maintain this 236 range, as we're seeing a little bit of a red candle starting to print here on the daily. Money flow came down quite a bit here on this daily term time frame, sitting quite close to that zero line. MACD looking like you've got a little more downside action, so a nice 236 strong bounce. We'll kind of have to see if that prime oscillator gets that rollover as well. Let's zoom this on in though. Take a look at that hourly and what the daily might be bringing our way. We are looking like we're seeing a little bit of some cool offs here on the oscillator after we got that nice 382 rejection towards the downside. You can click the settings to change colors. What was that? How did you get your yellow dash line? Is that mid consolidate? So the yellow dash line would be my golden pocket on my fibs. I changed my colors around. So my orange 236s, my blue 382, purples are going to be our 50% line, golden pockets, that bright nice yellow, and then I go platinum pockets as turquoise. So as Billy was saying, you can go in there, change your settings, come in here, and there you go. You got all of your settings here, and you can just go in, click the color, and I always make that bright yellow there, so it really stands out to the eye. And then the blue one always stands out to my eye on the black background, so that's why I have that 382 being that nice blue there. We did see some rejection off of this 382 here, so looking to at least maintain our 236. The hourly is looking a little bit beat down on our oscillators, so looking to at least come back down to this 236 to see some cool off. Money flow maintaining quite nicely, which is quite crazy here on this meme coin you having me look at trade intuition. So looking to potentially see a little more cool off on the oscillators, as that prime oscillator is sitting directly pointed down and your MACDs pointed directly down as well. But if you continue to see very green buying volume, buying pressure, and a slowdown on this volume, look for a little bit lower prices, because that does mean some of that money flow coming on in is slowing down quite a bit. We do see this 15-minute and the morning looking like you might see that continued rollover as well. You've got very strong bearish divergences doubled up here as you've got these strong moves towards the upside. Looking like your prime oscillator getting some continued rollover. Your money flow maintaining quite nicely, but your volume here is the real big problem. Getting that continued rollover on volume, looking like it's on its way out. So seeing some last ditch buying coming on in here to try to maintain this 236 some support to try to get that push back up towards our 382. We probably have quite a bit of liquidity sitting above this 382 with some stop losses on anyone who was shorting here or around this area. Could have seen that as here as well, a nice short area with your stop loss up above the highs there. So could be a nice little cool down on those higher term time frame oscillators back down to the 236 to see that switch of a trend. I would definitely watch money flow on that one to see if it does roll over with our volume on your shorter term time frames. All right, we had VVV requested. I don't do fibs a lot because you can see them as too much clutter that's already cluttered on the charts. Trying to use them more because they are old, so more commonly used. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's also just math, so that's why I like them. I use them quite a bit. They do end up being self-fulfilling prophecy. I thought yellow 236. I thought yellow was the golden pocket. So it might be hard to see on this. This is orange. This is yellow, bright yellow. So the golden pocket is way up there at 009418, and this is our 236 at burnt orange. So let's hop over to VVV. And we'll go off of it on Coinbase because I think that's where I looked at it before. I guess I did not look at it on Coinbase. So let's zoom it on out. Take a look at our higher term time frames. Get some levels drawn out. I guess I did look at it on Coinbase a super long time ago. I'm pretty sure this was from something Jesse had said. Uh, let's see if we can find something with more history. I guess that is the history. It saw some nice strong downside there. I used 21 and 200 simple moving averages, volume profile, the value area low, POC, value area high, stochastics, RSI, VWAP line on the chart, MCB combo from that sounds like a little bit of a cluttered chart there. I keep it quite simple. I've got my moving averages. I've got the VWAP as well. I use RSI. So this prime oscillator ends up being my replacement for RSI, and then I use MACD. So let's hop into this chart real quick. It is almost time for that morning motivational video. So let's get lows to high there. I guess highs to low because that was a lower high. We'll go lows, high to low. Let's zoom it on in a little bit so I can pinpoint that low a little bit better. There we go. Looks like we saw a nice 50% rejection off of that move. Looking to maintain our 236 here as well. We'll kind of have to see if we get that continued positive money flow coming on in. Let's zoom this on in. Take a look at that hourly though and see if we're going to be seeing a little bit of some strength coming on in at this 236. We did see a nice strong rejection off the 50, a nice strong rejection off of our 382, made those very, very equal highs. So probably got a little bit of liquidity in that range as well. I would look at $4.64 being an area where we have some liquidity above, where you might see that strong push back towards the top side. You do see the hourly looking like it needs to see a little bit of some cool offs here, but you're making very nice strong lows down, very strong equal lows down at the bottom as well. Get that drawn out. Looking like $3.40 would be that area to kind of watch for. I would look for a sweep below that before you really see a nice strong support level being made. That would also add that confluence towards the cooling off of these higher term time frames oscillators, and then see that stronger push towards the upside. Let's see what the 15-minute and the morning are bringing our way. Looking like the 15-minute, looking quite similar to a lot of the other projects we've really looked at. Higher term time frames looking like they do need to see some cool off. 15 minutes getting that nice strong move back up, but looking like they need to see some continued cool off as well. We'll kind of have to keep our eye on Bitcoin. If we do sweep that bottom side liquidity, watch for these assets to get that strong move down towards support levels that we've had our eye on, and then get that continuation towards the upside, especially if Bitcoin's going to go grab that top side liquidity. We do have that area back up at 108 200 that we will be keeping our eye on. We've got a hidden divergence here. Looking for that rollover to really get that secondary reversal signal to flash here on Venice before we see that stronger push towards the upside. So might see a few of these reversal signals starting to flash on the 15-minute before you really see that stronger move towards the upside, with how that hourly looked like it needed to see a little more cool off. I'd expect to see at least 3 of these reversal signals flash in the day before you really get that stronger move towards the upside there. Bitcoin dominance was asked about. I have not taken a look at it, but you are seeing it maintain quite nicely. Makes some highs, turns that high into support, really sweeps below, gets that push up. You've got us maintaining the highs here. Probably looking for a little bit of a sweep towards the downside again, unless you see some crazy money flow coming in here, and then look back up to 64.35. That was an area where we did a lot of holding up at. This whole area back here is an area I'm kind of watching to get back up to. I do want to see us get back up towards about that 70% level on our dominance for Bitcoin. Let's zoom it on out. Take a look at that 4 hour. We also have that coming from that very quick peak before we saw that sell off. So we are sitting above this whole area of fib extensions that I had drawn. I was looking for about 70.5% to come on as a top side for Bitcoin dominance. We are seeing it looking like it's making some higher highs and higher lows. So looking to continue that towards the upside, as we are seeing a little bit of some weakness stepping in on some of those alts. You're also seeing stable coins not getting that market cap continuation towards the upside, as XRP just took Tether spot all over again. So it's looking like people are not putting their money into stables, which also increases that Bitcoin dominance there. It is 5:29 though. I'll do a live later on my channel for all of you to.
Step one.
Oops, wrong button there. Wrong button there. Oops, completely wrong buttons there. Sorry about that. It is 5:30 and time to head over towards that morning motivational video. I'll do a live on my channel a little bit later in the day. So if y'all want to come hang out, take a look at some more assets, we can definitely do that there. Make sure to tune into the rest of the shows on the Piper Academy. We've got that morning market report at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We got trading with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and markets after dark with Lunar Beaches Crypto. He did a great show last night. Go ahead, give him a little bit of a watch, ask him some questions, and get some knowledge, because here at the Piper Academy, knowledge is profit. I will see y'all in the chats the rest of the day, because I'm off for the day, so I'll be on the PC and I will be making some money and printing all day long. I'll drop some trades in that Discord for y'all. Make sure to wake up, because today's going to be a good day.